Back in the day, we had Churchill. Now, we have a robot. And so I think it's fair to say, go back, Winston! Hello and welcome to the Darkest Hour review. The Darkest Hour stars Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, and it's going on about how Winston Churchill became Prime Minister. And what's really interesting about this is that Winston Churchill was not their first choice as Prime Minister because of his record being atrocious, but Winston Churchill was the only man that can actually be Prime Minister. So this is Winston Churchill going on as Prime Minister in a very dark time, so this is where the movie is. First of all, Gary Oldman is fantastic in this movie. If Gary Oldman's name wasn't in this movie, I would have no idea that this is Gary Oldman. He acts so much like Churchill in this movie. Gary Oldman's the one that actually brings this character to life. He's fantastic in this movie. I was also really surprised with Lindsay James in this movie. Lindsay James, I mean, she keeps on impressing me. Well done, girl. I mean, everyone else does a really good job in this movie, but you know they're going to do a good job in this movie. But Lindsay James really surprised me. It's like, she keeps on surprising me. It's like, yeah, I can sing, I can act. Put me in more movies. Come on, Hollywood. And honestly, like, if it wasn't for Gary Oldman's performance, I think this movie would be a bit dull. I'm interested in Churchill, but sometimes bringing it to the big screen, it can be a little bit, you know, a bit like, the politics in this movie can be a bit dull. And if you're not really interested in that, then this movie probably isn't for you. But I wasn't really here for, like, the politics. I was more here to see Churchill be Churchill. And what's also really cool about this movie is that they don't really, like, glamorize him. Like, he does they do, like, focus on, like, the black and whites of Churchill as well. Like, he doesn't all, there's not all like, oh yeah, Churchill great and Hitler bad. I mean, of course Hitler's an arsehole, I'm not a Nazi anyway, but they don't really glamorize him as well. They do focus on the black and white elements of Churchill as well. And honestly, it makes Churchill more human, more believable, so you really get into the performance. In the end, Darkest Hour is, you know, it's good. You know, it's a good movie, and Gary Oldman's performance is the thing that really holds up this movie as well. Lindsay James keeps on impressing me all the time, and I hope she keeps on impressing me in the future. Everyone else does a really good job in the movie, but, you know, if you're not really into, like, the politics of this movie, then this movie probably isn't for you. But here's the big question. Is Gary Oldman a better Churchill than John Lithgow in The Crown? Honestly, I really could not tell, because even though that Gary Oldman does a fantastic job as Winston Churchill, he really got the look, but John Lithgow really got the character, and it doesn't really, and he showed us a different side of Winston Churchill, and both these two do a fantastic job in these roles. And honestly, I would recommend you've seen both versions. I would recommend you go and see the Netflix show The Crown and Darkest Hour. Okay, so have you seen Darkest Hour? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.